The S24 Ultra's camera woes continue, and there's supposed to be another update coming in April to fix a few more key issues that, well, Samsung hasn't found a fix for yet. So, the S24 Ultra, 200 megapixel primary camera, it does a lot of good things. It's basically the same camera as last year, which is why it's been surprising we've had so many issues and we've had to have so many fixes. Typically, you expect this in a first generation for a camera, not the second generation for a camera. And by all accounts, the phone is nearly perfect. I mean, I absolutely love this phone. It's a great phone. They've done a lot of good things for it, but they're still chasing perfection when it comes to the camera. So according to prominent leaker Ice Universe, who like he's the one in the know whenever it comes to updates on Samsung stuff, says that in April we should be expecting a patch. That's this month. So hopefully we'll see the fix soon, ideally. But supposedly what they're fixing this go around is telephoto image quality with the camera firmware update, inaccurate white balance, and abnormal red color. But there's no timetable on this other than we might see it this month. So hopefully that comes sooner than later for anyone who's been experiencing these issues. Well, I'm sure it'll be a nice and pleasant fix. But this isn't the first rodeo we've had with the camera. We had complaints about the shutter speed. We had complaints about the HDR. We've had complaints about color accuracy. We've had a lot of complaints with this phone. And it's funny because the phone itself, in so many different ways, is so good. The S Pen is great. The screen is great. It's beautiful. They already addressed the issues with the color saturation and vibrancy, making it look more vibrant like the previous color configuration on Samsung phones. But yeah, the camera seems to elude them, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe it has something to do with their nightography. Maybe it has something to do with the new telephoto sensor that's in there. I mean, I'm sure that that changes up some things. We had the 10 times telescopic telephoto before, now we have the 5 times. And I've heard complaints about people talking about accuracy, talking about quality. So, I mean, it's not without merit. And I've seen articles on this stuff. It's not like it's just something made up out of thin air. And for most folks, probably won't even notice this as an issue, but maybe we should take this as a positive sign that there's just nothing seriously wrong with the phone. I mean, battery life has been good. I mean, I've been pretty happy with it. The Snapdragon 8 Generation 3, solid. They've been Johnny on the spot with software updates. One UI 6.1 is nice and crisp. And there's a lot going for it. It's a really good phone. So it'll be nice when we get this update. It'll be nice when they can find a chase down top dead zero. And if you're an old car mechanic person who used to set the timing on your car, you know what I'm talking about. When it comes to the timing on a car, trying to get everything set just right, there's like a top dead zero on, I think it's the top of the pulley that you would have to try and line everything up with properly. Anyway, there was a marker on there that you had to try and get it lined up with so the timing would be right. I haven't had to do that in a long time, not since I had my old 93 Mustang. But yeah, hopefully they'll get this solved this month. I mean, yeah, there's been a few things they fixed already. Improved shutter speed, video clarity, automatic exposure and color selections, more improvements to camera quality in February as well, March, fixed white balance for some users, improvements to camera usability. So it just seems like they're honing in on it, but they're not quite there yet. And I think the camera works just fine. So this isn't one of those things where it's like, oh my gosh, it's broken, we have to fix this. It's more of a fine tuning and optimization to make it the best that it can be. And this is not something unusual for Samsung. Like we've seen this many times before with other Samsung phones where the phone comes out and then it's like, oh, we got a camera fix. We got a camera fix. And it seems like probably about halfway through the year, we finally run out of these camera fixes when they have it fine tuned enough to where I guess they have it where they want it to be. And I've said this before, like when you take a look at like say the S22 Ultra camera, I believe if I remember correctly, like it had some issues as well. But by time a year later came around, there were better optimizations for battery. There was better optimizations for the heat issues. There were better optimizations for the camera. And that's one of the important things about long-term support for phones. Once you put the product out there, it's probably 99.5% where it needs to be a lot of times with these phones, but then there's little things that pop up once they get out into mass public, once people start taking them out and using them in situations that were maybe outside of the testing parameters when they were in the development process. So this isn't something where it's like, oh my gosh, it's broken. It's more of a, okay, we can do better here. We got a team to support this. Let's go ahead and fine tune it and make it even better so that way we can maintain our position with our phone as being one of the best cameras. And yes, the S24 Ultra has some of the best cameras you can get in a phone. It competes very handily with the iPhone 15 series. It competes very handily with the Pixel 8 series. So Samsung's done a lot of good things, and having a 200 megapixel camera, a 200 megapixel sensor inside of your phone is just crazy. I was really happy with the 108, but every couple of years they like to kind of change things up a little bit. We had the 108 megapixel camera, I think, for 3 years, the 20, the 21, and the 22. Yeah. So we had that for 3 years, and now we've got the 200 megapixel. Who knows? Maybe next year we'll get a 500 megapixel camera, and just for some educational moment. Like, the more megapixels doesn't necessarily mean it's better. It just means that it can shove more data into an image. So you can have a same image. So like let's say you're looking at your phone. It's related kind of to resolution, right? So if you've got a 720p screen like it on a big phone, it looks more pixelated. But if you turn the resolution up to 1080p, you turn it up to 2K, which is Quad HD plus, then it gets sharper and sharper because there's more pixels in that given area. Well, if you've got a big megapixel camera, let's like say 50, right? So if you have a 50 megapixel camera, let's say theoretically you could take a picture and blow it up to like a 25 by 30-inch picture and print it out, and it would look lifelike. Well, as you get bigger and bigger, you need more and more megapixels to support that lifelike imagery. So if you have a 5 megapixel camera and you try to print out a 10 by 12 photo, it's not going to look lifelike. It's going to look pixelated. So that 200 megapixels allows them to pack all those extra pixels into the same image, so you have better clarity, you have more sharpness. But the thing is, with 200 megapixels, in most instances on your phone, you're really not going to be able to tell with the naked eye unless you really zoom in, and that pixel density helps out there as well. But yeah, this isn't really so much a pixel density issue. This, I think, has to do with fine tuning the sensor. And we have the image signal processor. So what happens when you take a photo, right? It grabs the photo, the camera, you take a shot, and the image signal processor inside the phone is what converts all that into a meaningful image. Well, that image signal processor is new every year, basically. Like, so we got the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3. It has a new image signal processor. So whenever it's processing these images, sometimes it takes a little bit more fine tuning, a little bit more calibration to get it exactly where it needs to be. So just because you move up doesn't mean you always maintain that lateral proficiency in everything, right? It just means you have more speed. We have a bigger, more powerful engine in the phone. Plus, with the AI optimizations, that comes into play a lot too, because we got a lot of this processing, post processing, computational photography. You take the shot, and then the phone works its magic and it makes it look even better. So it's two kind of different things working on. It's the capturing and converting that image, and then it's the processing that happens as well. And I think they're just working on their algorithm, working on whatever's going on behind the scenes that fine tunes and makes it look the best possible. So whenever we get this update, then there should be some more fixes. But it's nice that they've been kind of moving it incrementally along the way, making some changes and making it better for everybody. So that's all I've got. Nothing too crazy in this video today, but I wanted to talk about that. Hopefully we see that soon. It was, let me see, when was that tweet? April 7th. So yeah, we'll see if it comes out this month, if we get a special update, or if they save it for the May update. But hopefully the next few weeks we should be seeing a fix for those remote view camera issues. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and a little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.